who has allowed himself to get out of condition will either get back into condition or be weeded out.
Are there any items anyone from the public would like to remove from the consent agenda?
C1B with a clarification. Is that the June meeting minutes or the July? Just wanted to clarify. It says June, but I was just questioning because we're now in August and June has already been received once.
Staff, I just, for the purposes of not disrupting this meeting, can someone clarify for sure it's June? Indeed,
What is
meetings.
attached are the June 9th.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other items to be pulled from consent in the room? Is there any? Go ahead.
Verify, Mayor, are you
Yes.
still wanting that pulled then? Okay.
Oh, you still want it pulled? Okay. That brings us to C1B. Mr. Arabi?
Okay, this was the meeting, this Community Police Review Board meeting in which the Chief of Police told us that threats of arrest in order to coerce compliance to the illegal wishes of the police was commonplace. And it was a pattern of practice, basically. Now, we've had that called out by a number of people in the community, myself and others, directly here in different board meetings. And we still have yet to receive any kind of an answer about that. As to whether just the simple fact that police policy does not say it's a problem. Are we as a city going to say that it's allowable, even though it's prevented under federal law? I mean, that's really what this comes down to. We've got a federal law that says that kind of stuff should not happen. And just because it's not in policy does not mean something didn't happen that was wrong. So I guess I'm wondering what we're going to do about that. Are we going to continue to allow police just to do whatever they want because it's not in policy, even though there's federal laws that say they shouldn't? I mean, I'm open for questions, but I can keep talking. But I mean, really, that needs to be addressed because it's a big problem. Nobody. This is what I'm talking about. This is why I ridicule now. I found one person in this town today that was willing to say enough was enough and accept responsibility for something. Say the buck was stopping here, admit it was a mistake. Nobody else is willing to do that. So you guys are okay with allowing the chief of police to say that it's okay to threaten citizens with coercion? Are we okay with that?
During public comment, we don't respond to questions that are directed to us.
This isn't public comment. This is a consent agenda item.
Yeah, it's public comment on a consent agenda item.
Okay.
And as soon as you're done speaking, we will refer our
And
questions to staff.
Once again, if it's public comment, you're speaking during my time. I think my clock is still running there.
All time is commission time.
Okay. That's how it works. I see. All time is commission time. So the people don't matter? Do the people don't matter, Courtney? You know, you're up for election next year. I'm putting money behind getting you out of office. Promise it. Promise it.
Staff, sorry, that was my timer. Is there any further public comment?
Yep. That wasn't public comment.
On this item,
On that item?
Yeah.
On that item. Commission comments?
I wouldn't mind having the chiefs here speak to what that was about.
Or perhaps legal? I'm interested in this is a violation of federal law.
Okay, I have asked for something. I just asked. I had asked to have a response. Police chief of police, but also legal is very good to ask too. I don't think there's no objection, so. Yeah, please. And that's where we're at with this item.
Mayor, my recommendation is to provide us a chance to get a response back to the commission. And that enables none of us to be placed on the spot with
fine.
something that perhaps we're not prepared to address, but we'll be happy to give a response to you all if that would suffice.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Okay. thank
Yeah.
you.
Specifically the question of whether that's allowed under federal law.
Thank you for that clarification. We'll get a response for you. Thank you.
That's fine.
Got everybody in there covering. Got them covering for you nicely. But the bricks are starting to fall, buddy. There's only one reason you're out here, man. You really think you're going to be able to arrest me tonight? You really think that's going to happen? You really think that's your best move? Is that your best move? Going to try to arrest me tonight? I'm going back in here. You coming?
Thinks he's gonna get to arrest somebody tonight. Look at him on guard.
Any other public comment in the room?
Trent McKinley's out here ready to arrest me. Who in here is going to get me arrested tonight? You're going to get me arrested because I get frustrated because I finally ask the chief to explain something and it gets shut down by legal. I get frustrated with that because I've been coming in here for how long now? Asking for some answers, and we finally get this close to an answer. But just like I said in a video here not too long ago, legal knows not to let the chief speak off the cuff anymore. He can't be trusted to speak off the cuff. How much of a problem is that? And you guys continue. And Mayor, serious money. Serious money. Because what you're doing right now is you're shutting down accountability unilaterally. Say public time, and you call it public comment, and then you interrupt and speak during my public comment and try to shame me during that public comment, that actually rises to a First Amendment violation. I don't know if you realize that or not, but the public forum doctrine does give you some rights. But when you stray outside the public forum doctrine, it does become a limit of free speech. We get extremely close, but we just can't get there because certain people in this community don't want to hear it. Because certain people in the community know what the liability is. I know what the liability is. And I'm starting to pull the documents out of these different city agencies that are proving it. Before I leave tonight, at the July meeting of the Community Police Review Board, they had a Sergeant Shipley come in here and talk about implicit bias. I have a recording of that same sergeant on the street ignoring the 1964 and City Code 10110. When she tells citizens that it's perfectly acceptable for a private establishment to discriminate and not allow service to somebody based on race or sexual identity, which sexual identity may not be covered under the U.S. Constitution, but it is covered under City Code. But this sergeant actually said that. Now, the problem I have with that is that's the sergeant that came in here and talked about implicit bias. Now, how in the hell can the same person that comes in here and talks how great we're doing on implicit bias doesn't even understand the 1964 Civil Rights Act or City Code? We keep exonerating stuff because federal law doesn't apply. Well, this is a case where federal law and City Code actually match and they mirror each other, and City Code actually goes further. Someday we're going to get answers. Someday somebody's going to be on a chair a little warmer than this answering some questions if we don't get some soon.
I can't hide.